Hi, this is Aperture. Today I'm going to show you how to visualize data from the cryptocurrency market by using several Python libraries, and I'll be utilizing data from ChainSlayer that comes directly from their database in the test environment. So once you visit the test environment, you can go to the Jupyter tab and you click on Shared Workspaces. There are several folders here, but we're going to click the tutorials. So you can visit these workbooks yourself and use the code yourself. So feel free to do that. We're going to use several libraries. We're going to use Pandas, NumPy, and Plotly. Pandas and NumPy for processing the data, and Plotly to visualize the data. But first we import the data from the database. We pick the candles, spot, BTC USDC data from Binance. It's the daily data, and we select the last 3 months. From there, we convert this result in a data frame, and this is how the data frame looks. It has a timestamp, it has the open, high, low, close, and volume. And from here, we can already plot the candlesticks. Plotly has an out-of-the-box candlestick chart, which can be easily plotted. And how Plotly works is you define a figure, you can update the layout, for example add a text, and you can add traces to the figure. You can also define the traces before you define the figure and add them to the figure later on, but I like this approach. So this is the result from the plot. And the great thing about Plotly is that you can select areas in the chart, so it's an interactive chart, and then it plots only that region. You can also reset the access to view your original chart. You can download it as a PNG. So play around with several of these functions it has. There's also a mouse over function, so you can see what the data is for this specific candle. Let's add some more stuff to the chart. So this visualization, we're going to add a moving average. This is the 20 moving average, and we add this by using the rolling window mean in Pandas, and then we plot it. And as you can see, we add an extra trace to the chart, which is the moving average. You can see the legend over here. It's being updated with the moving average, and you can see that the blue line is added to the chart. And you can also check the values by using the mouse over function. The first 20 periods don't have this moving average because it isn't calculated for this period yet, but afterwards the plot will show the moving average. I want to create a chart for the daily returns, which is a bar chart. And as you can read in the text, in financial markets, you can visualize the returns in percentage during a period by using a bar chart. And in this example, we display the daily returns for the last 3 months. And first we do the calculation for the daily returns, and we base it on the close. And we have the percentage change from close to close. And then we create a figure again. We add a trace, which is a bar chart this time. And then we create the bar chart. And as you can see, there are some bigger bars and some smaller bars. And I wanted to see if there were some outliers, some very big returns in the Bitcoin chart. So I calculated the standard deviation, multiplied it by 2, and see which daily returns were above the second standard deviation. And then we plot this in the chart. We first add the daily returns, and we can use a marker to define the color. It picks this column in the data frame and changes that bar to the color we defined. So we have those candles that are above the 2 standard deviations daily returns. Those were colored red and the other ones were blue. And then we add 2 lines, which are shapes, to even visualize this better and see where the region is of the second standard deviation from the mean. We can see that there are a few candles that are above the standard deviation. So if you check this in the plot, these are the biggest candles you can find. Sometimes we want to add different plots below the chart. So Plotly offers the functions to add subplots. You do this by making subplots and adding rows and columns. And then you just add traces to the figure, but you define in which row and column you want to plot the chart. In this example, we only use 1 column, so we stack the plots below each other. The row is the position in the column where you want to place them. So the first chart would be a candlestick chart. The second one is a bar chart with the volume. And you can see right here, it plots it below. I added the titles, so we know which chart is which one. You can also do something similar by adding an extra chart in the current chart. So we know this from most charting libraries where they put the volume in the chart but below price. And you can do that by using a dual axis. A dual axis can also be used to plot 2 assets on top of each other, which don't have like a similar price range. But by using the 2 axes, you can easily compare the 2 charts. But it works similar. You make a subplot, you add the traces. This time you don't add the rows or the columns, but you set the secondary y-axis to true. What I did as an extra is I set the layout and the y-axis 1 and y-axis 2, which corresponds with these plots. This is the first plot, this is the second plot, and I scaled these axes. So the volume plot is only at the bottom visible, like 1/4 of the chart, and I added a little bit to the candlestick chart so it doesn't plot on top of the volume. So there is some extra manipulations you have to do to distinguish these charts from each other. That's it about visualizing market data. Thank you for watching this video, and feel free to reach out to us in our Discord or on Twitter.